Fox Sports.
We are Blackboard. We are Sports Zone.
You could give the Atlanta Braves a secondary name, the Roadrunners. They are wrapping up their third 10-game trip in this early part of the 2015 season. Our final stop, Chase Field in Phoenix. A chance for the Braves to head back home with a 5-5 road record as they try to win a series outright with the Arizona Diamondbacks. Mike Foltynewicz gets the ball for Atlanta in the series wrap-up. He's pitching great baseball. You look at his numbers over the last couple of starts. Hopefully he's got that strikeout pitch working and he can take the ball deep as Atlanta faces off with Ruby De La Rosa of the Diamondbacks. Hi again, friends. Joe and Chip, welcome back to the ballpark. Disappointing end to the ball game last night. The Braves starters on the road trip, by and large, Joe, have been outstanding. But alas, the bullpen's had its share of problems, and they reared their ugly heads last night.
Yeah, I think you could say that 6 of the 9 starts so far on this road trip have been exemplary. Couple of rough ones in there. Shelby had a rough one last night, but the offense came back and covered that up, at least temporarily, because late in the ball game, the bullpen let it slip away again. And you can see on the current road trip, the good work done by the starters, the not good work done by the bullpen. The Braves are 17-5 when they lead after 6 innings this year. Last year, they had only lost 1 game where they led after 6. So something's got to be done to try to tighten things up after the 6th inning in an effort to get from the bridge created between the starters and Jim Johnson and Grilly to finish it up.
But that starts with the starter. That's Mike Foltynewicz. He's been brilliant. Let's see what he's got in store for us as we finish up the road trip, hopefully in style here in Phoenix.
Arizona. It's game 3 between the Braves and the Diamondbacks. Mike Foltynewicz takes the mound today, and ever since joining the Braves, he has really enjoyed learning on the major league level, and he's enjoyed doing it with the Atlanta Braves, whether it's picking the brains of the veterans around him or working with pitching coach Roger McDowell. He has advanced in every outing he's had. If you take a look at our Zaxby's indescribable play this season with 6 starts, he's 3-2, 5 consecutive starts with 7 strikeouts or more. His last start, 8 strikeouts and 6 2/3 innings pitched, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, and 1 walk. And talking to Mike earlier this week, he says he's got all the confidence in the world in what his teammates can do behind him, and he has a lot of confidence in himself right now and what he's been able to do in his few starts over the season.
It's really been starting to click the last few games, and just going out there, just being comfortable too is the next big thing, and that's really the last few starts I've been comfortable out there and just attacking guys, keeping the walks down, and it's very comfortable out there, so it's fun.
And unfortunately, the last time out in San Francisco, a tough luck loss, but he knows what this offense is capable of. He said at the beginning of spring training, he knew what these guys can do at the plate, and he said he's seen it the last couple days break out. He's got more confidence going into today because of what the offense is able to do the last couple games. So, on the other side of the break, we'll wrap this series up here in Arizona. It's lineups and first pitch coming your way from Chase Field.
Atlanta Braves baseball is presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Right stuff, low price, every day.
Outside temperature around 95 degrees. It'll be warming to approximately 100 as we visit Phoenix for the final time. It's the Braves and Diamondbacks. Series victory on the line in Game 3 here this afternoon. The Braves come in 3 games out of first, 26-26 on the year. And here's how Freddie Gonzalez lines up his starting 9 on the Academy Sports and Outdoors lineup. Cameron Maybin's back in the lineup. Missed the last couple of games with a groin and quad problem. Not considered to be serious, but he says he's good to go. Freddie Freeman loves hitting in this park. Hopefully he'll have a big day. And Chris Johnson gets a start as well. He gives Juan Uribe the day off. Chris, a former Diamondback, hitting .269 for the year. And Atlanta Joe takes aim at a man they've never seen before.
Ruby De La Rosa out of Dominican Republic. There are his home road splits. A very high ERA in both home and road numbers because he's getting over 7 runs of support per game. That leads the National League. His last 5 starts, they have scored 11 runs, 14 runs, 3 runs, 6 and 7. He gets a ton of runs to work with as per usual. We'll see if the Braves can do something about that today.
The Arizona defense has been very good this year. It's anchored by Paul Goldschmidt at first base. He's state of the art at first base for Arizona. Chris Owings, Chad Pennington at shortstop. Yasmani Tomas is their third baseman. David Peralta is back in the lineup after getting hurt up in Milwaukee. Pollock and Enciarte center and right, and Jared Saltalamacchia is back behind the plate. So Nick Ahmed gets the third game of the series off, and we're underway with ball one to Jace Peterson. 77 in, 95 outside Chase Field. Out of play to the left, and an even count for Jace Peterson.
That last start for De La Rosa in Milwaukee, he won 7-5, but he only went 5 innings, 6 hits, 4 runs, walked 2, struck out 4. Out of play. De La Rosa was originally a Dodger farmhand. In fact, he was the Dodgers minor league pitcher of the year in 2011. On July 31st of that year, he blew out his elbow in a game started against the Arizona Diamondbacks. He had Tommy John surgery, came back and pitched, and then went to Boston in the big trade that saw all those contracts change hands, and Adrian Gonzalez went back to the Dodgers. Now he's a Diamondback. 2-2 pitch, fouled at the plate. And Peterson's still alive. And as you can see, has a good fastball. He sits somewhere in the low to mid 90s. An excellent changeup and a slider. And a breaking ball got Peterson to swing and miss. Jace strikes out. We're underway. 1 up, 1 down for Cameron Maybin. Good downer. .60 strikeouts now for De La Rosa in 64 in the third innings. Here's Cameron, 5 homers, 22 knocked in, and he's sporting a .256 average. He had a terrific month of May for the Braves. He knocked in 17 of his 22 runs. He had 15 RBIs all season last season. Good to have him back hitting second. Wow, 97. That's downstairs. 2 balls and a strike. And I have to say, the 2 games he missed, Todd Cunningham did a great job defensively in center field. Todd's in the lineup again today, but playing left field as that ball's bounced slowly up the middle. Pennington to his left, gloves, grabs, guns, and got him by a quarter step. He kept giving ground, made the grab, and threw a strike to first, and Maybin appeared to be out on a close play. Freddie Gonzalez out on the warning track. May want to take a video review. Yeah, it was a quick reaction from Terry Pendleton to the dugout. On the dirt, foot on the bag, he looks safe. And Freddie is going to challenge the call at first. So Rob Smith and Horacio Ramirez got a good look at it. They sent the signal to Carlos Tosca, who told Freddie Gonzalez to go ahead and challenge the out call at first. If this is overturned, Maybin will be rewarded with an infield hit. I think that was pretty clear. Crew Chief Fieldon Culbreth comes in with Paul Schreiber. Foot on the bag. Yeah, it's going into the glove. The thing that always seems to happen too, Chip, is a guy who's been sitting out for a couple of days with a strained groin or quad muscle. He has to test it right away running down the line. So is there enough evidence to overturn the call, which was out at first? I think that center field camera was conclusive. Don't tell that to Ned Yost and the Royals, who didn't get a call to go their way on a very similar look at first base. Video replay showed that a base runner should have been safe, but apparently not a conclusive enough replay look to overturn what appeared to be an incorrect call.
in the Royals game yesterday. And we're taking a long, hard look at this one back in New York.
Yeah, quite a scene in Seattle last night too. Lloyd McClendon upset with a check swing call. Yeah, that's pretty conclusive. Foot on the bag, ball in the dirt. Foot down, ball bouncing up into the glove. Should be pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right about Lloyd McClendon. He channeled his inner Lou Piniella back in the early 90s at the Kingdome. And got tossed from the game against the Yankees. Been a rough year for the Seattle Mariners, a club that many thought was going to have a great shot at winning the AL West. It hasn't worked out that way. They dropped their 4th straight game. And Seattle 8.5 games behind the Houston Astros still. As this replay review is now 2.5 minutes long.
Come on, fellas. Got a plane to catch. You guys in New York, let's go. Wasn't that tough?
And the verdict is in. And Maben is ruled safe. So that call is overturned. Give Maben an infield hit. So 2 minutes and 49 seconds were needed to overturn the call at first. And here's Braves first baseman Freddie Freeman. Freddie loves hitting against the Diamondbacks and loves hitting in this ballpark. He had a first inning single last night, giving him a 12-game hitting streak against the Diamondbacks. He's knocked in 15 runs against Arizona during that streak. Early on the road trip, Freeman was pulling the ball to the right side an awful lot. He started to hit the ball to all fields here in Phoenix. Really got going in San Francisco with a couple of long home runs against Santiago Casilla.
And no shift on for him here, so a big hole on the right side if Ruby De La Rosa ever throws the ball to home plate.
Big lead by Maben, and another throw at first. Where's the old chicken scoreboard from Olympic Stadium when you need it? It's 4 straight throws over. And the pitch to Freddie is a 94-mile-an-hour fastball, strike 1. Freddie at 296 for the year. And those are his very impressive numbers here inside Chase Field in Phoenix. Way outside, 1 ball, 1 strike.
De La Rosa came from the Red Sox to the Diamondbacks in the Wade Miley deal. He was 4-8 last year with Boston and a 4.43 ERA.
Maben a good lead, not going. The pitch to Freeman is out on a miss. A ball and 2 strikes. You can see the philosophy of Arizona. They're trying to stockpile pitching too, much like the Braves are. And this will be a fun matchup. De La Rosa for the Diamondbacks, Fultonevich for Atlanta. 2 guys that throw hard but are a little unpolished at this point. See who comes out on top. And Freeman's down swinging for out number 2. 2 strikeouts for Ruby De La Rosa to start the game.
Good fastballs too, well located. Outer third, running away from Freeman and didn't even foul tip any of them.
So 14 pitches so far in the inning. Nick Markakis, the batter. Nick's had 4 hits in the series and is batting .299. Still looking for his first homer as a Brave. He's knocked in 14 runs. One ball, no strikes. Pair of doubles for Nick last night.
He's doing a good job of holding Maben on over there with all those throws, and he's also pretty quick to the plate. Quick leg kick, quick stride.
Over the protected screen foul. It's now an even count. 1 ball, 1 strike. Maben with an infield hit after a video replay overturned call. He's still there with 2 outs. 1 ball, 1 strike. And bounced foul past Bo Porter. It's now 1-2.
Saltalamacchia, since he joined the Diamondbacks, was just called up 0 for 2 throwing out base stealers. Braves had a little success against him earlier in the year too when he was with Miami.
Diamondbacks got a bad break when Tuffy Gosowicz tore up a knee running to first base. He blew out a knee ligament. He's going to have surgery and is lost for the year for the Diamondbacks.
You want to play at first, trying to dodge a tag.
Now the 1-2. And that's inside the bag fair. Served beautifully by Markakis. Maben around second, on his way to third. He's getting the green light. Trouble in the corner, and Atlanta's going to take a 1-0 lead. David Peralta couldn't dig it out of that tricky corner in left. And Nick Markakis serves a double down the left field line, and the Braves lead 1-0.
Another good piece of hitting by Markakis. His doubles last night were to right field, this one down the line. And Peralta was doing the right thing. He didn't just run in after the ball and run the risk of it getting by him. He waited for it to come out, and it didn't. It just hit into the screen down there and stopped. See right here, he's waiting for it to come out. 3 steps, he's got to go get it. That's all Maben needed to score.
So the Braves have scored first in all 3 games here in Phoenix. A big 2-out run gives Mike Fultonevich a first inning lead. Braves have scored 11 runs with 2 outs in this series, including a first inning run today. Here's Chris Johnson. And that missed. Even count. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Chris got the start that last game in San Francisco against Bumgarner and had a good day. He was 2 for 3.
Fastball right there. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Chris was a Diamondback for part of the 2012 season. He played in 44 games, hit 7 home runs with the Diamondbacks. Then came to the Braves in 2013 and nearly won the batting title in the National League. And strike 3 over the outside corner. De La Rosa strikes out the side, but gives up an infield hit and a seeing-eye double down the third base line. 1-0 Atlanta as we get started in the desert. Atlanta strikes first. We head to the bottom of the first inning. Here's the Diamondbacks lineup presented by Chip Hale, their first-year skipper. It's also presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Got to worry about Paul Goldschmidt. He hits third. The Braves have pitched him very carefully in the series. Yasmani Tomas will try to clean up behind him. We'll also get our first look at David Peralta, who hit the Braves very hard last season in our first confrontations with the Arizona outfielder.
And on the mound for the Braves, making his 7th start, Mike Foltynewicz. 7 runs allowed in the first inning in his 6 starts. That's 7 of the 18 total he's allowed, and opponents 370 in the first inning. He'll try to get a better grip on that today, as he already has a 1-0 lead.
Ender Inciarte leads off, and the first pitch is fouled out of play.
Time for his Ford Keys pitching success for Foltynewicz today. Number 1. 3 in the last 3. He's only walked 1 batter in each of his last 3 starts. Great command. And the last one, well, an asterisk is my signal for an intentional pass. After an intentional pass to Paul Goldschmidt this year, hitters are 0 for 11. So if you do have to walk him, keep that in mind, that they're 0 for 11 after an intentional pass to him.
That just missed the inside corner at 96 miles an hour for the Arizona leadoff man, Ender Inciarte. He's knocked in 3 runs in the series. Arizona, the top scoring team in the National League. At the start of series play, and Folty just struck him out looking.
We might see a few U-turns today.
Yeah, they're bringing
the way Ruby and Folty are starting.
Here's the Atlanta defense. Cunningham, Maben, and Markakis can go get him in the outfield. Chris Johnson at third, Simmons, Peterson, and Freeman, with Christian Bethencourt working behind the plate. This is A.J. Pollock. He's batting a cool .314 for the year. Pollock was the 7th inning villain last night. Really frustrating game for the Braves, and Atlanta fought back, took the lead, but a 2-out walk to Inciarte after Brandon Caniff got ahead 0-2 was followed by Pollock's opposite field home run into the swimming pool that turned the game around for Arizona. They won at 7-6. Mark Grace knows all about that swimming pool in right center field. He's the first man to ever hit a home run into the pool here at Chase Field. Back then, though, it was called the Bank One Ballpark. How appropriate is that? A swimming pool in a place called Bob. 1-out walk puts Pollock at first, and here is Paul Goldschmidt. Goldschmidt putting together an MVP-worthy season for the Diamondbacks. 2nd in average, 3rd in homers, tied for 2nd in RBIs. He's walked 41 times. And as Joe mentioned, 2 handfuls worth of intentional free passes. Ball 1. You like power versus power matchups? Here you go in the home first.
Well, here's the first inning, too, for Mike with a 1-out walk. One of the things he's worked hard on since he got to the big leagues is to try to shorten up his time to the plate with a runner at first. Pollock runs well.
Sharply hit, foul past third. Don't know if our pal, the security guard's down in the left field corner for today's game. I think that's a different.
It is.
Different guy.
He might have been reassigned. DFA'd.
Ender Inciarte made a great diving catch, and as he made his way headfirst toward the wall, the security guard couldn't move other than to lift his right foot, and he kicked him right in the head. and checked out his highlights on his mobile app. The 1-1 pitch missed outside. 2 balls and a strike for Goldschmidt.
Try not to be quite so fine. Sitting at 96, you don't have to try to hit a corner.
Fly ball center, and Maben's going to get there for out number 2. So the Braves retire Goldschmidt. Now Yasmani Tomas is the batter. Just joining us, Tomas was signed as a free agent out of Cuba December 8th. Diamondbacks gave this kid 6 years and $68.5 million to sign a deal with them. And from an offensive standpoint, he's done really good things. Hitting .320, he's knocked in 19 runs. We're still trying to find a place for him defensively. Right now he's playing third base because Jake Lamb is hurt. Lamb, though, is on a rehab assignment and could be back for Arizona in the next few days. Then the question is, well, if you put Tomas in the outfield, they've got a log jam there. But today he's hitting 4th, playing 3rd, and bats with 2 outs in the 1st.
He hit .289 in the Cuban National League, their best league for the Industriales. .289 career hitter. Lives in Haiti now.
Nothing in 1 for Tomas. And foul toward the on deck circle. 0-2.
You mentioned it last night, Chip, that they've got some guys coming back, including Jake Lamb, their left-handed hitting third baseman. When that happens, they've got a wealth of outfielders, and Tomas may be moved to the outfield, maybe left field, and work with Peralta out there.
Throw to first. Pollock is back safely.
Didn't matter.
And that was a called 3rd strike. So Tomas is strikeout number 2 for Foltynewicz, who got through the 1st. Good job, Mike. He leads 1-0 heading to the 2nd.
To win round-trip airfare anywhere Delta flies in the continental United States, 2-night hotel accommodations, and $250 spending cash. Enter on your mobile devices or computer at foxsports.com/south/Delta. Good luck.
Chip and Joe from Phoenix. 1-0 Braves in the top of the 2nd inning. 6, 7, and 8 on the lineup card coming up for Freddie Gonzalez. And that youngster hopes to catch a souvenir and a Braves win today. If the Braves pick up the victory, they'll finish the trip at 5-5.
A lot of Braves fans here in Phoenix. We've seen a lot of Braves gear in the seats during this series.
And that fan wins the James Russell lookalike award.
Yeah, sure did. He's back with the Cubs.
There's a strike for Anderson Simmons, Brave shortstop. He's hitting 10 of 11 games, 15 hits in that stretch. And De La Rosa, 1-1 count.
Boy, is he hitting some spots. He made some great pitches to Freeman and Chris Johnson.
And that was fouled off Saltalamacchia, 97 miles an hour. It's 1-2.
Salty's walking with a little bit of a limp, but I thought it got him on the forearm. Already 12 pitches for him, 95 plus. No, top of the leg, just the chin guard.
Count.
His fastball much better than I expected today. Top end was expected to be somewhere around 95, and he's, as we've already shown you, he's exceeded that by quite a bit.
And he just walked Simmons, his first base on balls of the day. And a good start for the Braves. A leadoff man aboard for Todd Cunningham.
See, that's the kind of walk I don't understand. The guy's throwing here early on 96, 97 miles an hour, and you don't know yet if Simmons can catch up to that. So why throw him a 3-2 breaking ball that you haven't established yet, that you haven't thrown for a strike? See pitchers do it all the time. Go to a secondary pitch, full count. You got good heat.
Now he's got a pitch out of the stretch for Todd Cunningham, who snapped a 1-for-28 slide with 3 hits yesterday.
He's had a terrific series, especially defensively.
That caught a corner, even count.
It's his double that put the Braves on top last night, wasn't it?
Yep. Right down the third base line, kind of like Markakis' ball.
Yeah. It just brought Chafin in, a left-hander, which caused Todd to switch around and bat right-handed, and first pitch ripped it down the line.
Errant throw from Saltalamacchia back to the mound, and no advance by Simmons. Count is 2 balls and a strike. Salty looking in at the Arizona dugout. Must be getting the signs from Chip Hale, the 2-1 count. And that missed outside. A lot of off-speed stuff this inning. 3-1. There's a fastball, and it's ripped into right field. Simmons around second. He's going to make the turn, and he's going to go. Here comes the throw to third. It is dropped. And all hands are safe.
Terrific effort by Inciarte to charge that ball and cut it loose. He just didn't get any help on the other end. Boy, good footwork. One hopper, and Tomas tried to tag him before he got the baseball. So the Braves forcing the action there with Anderson trying to go first to third. They're in good shape here with nobody out.
For a second, I thought that was Gerardo Parra out there in right field.
No kidding.
Looked just like him, didn't
Yeah.
it? So Mike Harkey out with Saltalamacchia and De La Rosa.
That might be a reminder from Harkey. We don't know what he's talking about, but my goodness, the first inning, 3 strikeouts, 2 looking, locating, spotting his fastball. He did the same thing to Simmons to get ahead of him in the second inning at 95, 96 to the outside corner, and all of a sudden he went away from it. 3-1 to Cunningham. All right, he's sitting fastball. He's going to have a better chance to catch up to it. 3-1.
So Christian Bethancourt, the Braves catcher, chance to add to the lead. He's got a man at third base and nobody out in the second. And that is a strike.
There you go. Back to 97 on the corner.
Yeah, you'd think throw it until they prove they can hit it.
Establish it.
Yeah.
Why show anything else until you have to?
Pretty pitch over the outside edge. It's quickly 0-2. You've got the pitcher next. And then Jace Peterson lurking in the hole for the Braves.
Best breaking ball he's thrown so far. Christian needs to put this one in play best he can. Even a double play gets a run in.
That's headed to the upper deck. Ricochet, it'll bounce into the lower bowl. Nick Markakis has the game's lone RBI, a double down the third base line with 2 outs in the first inning. Great chance for Atlanta. Men at the corners here and nobody out. This will be a gigantic game for the Braves to rebound and win. Finish this Western trip 5-5. That would be remarkable work. As Joe mentioned in our opening comments, 6 of the first 9 games on the trip, the Braves starting pitching has been outstanding. And Fultonevich off to a good start today. The pitch to Bethancourt is cut on and missed, a 97-mile-an-hour fastball. So the 4 outs De La Rosa has gotten have all been via the strikeout, 3 of them swinging.
He only struck out 4 in 5 innings at Milwaukee. That one ran up and in on Christian where he had to try and fight it off and couldn't. And already 4 strikeouts today in an inning and 2/3. Inning and a third, actually.
Here's Fultonevich. And he bunts that one foul behind the plate. Strike 1. De La Rosa's career high in strikeouts is 8. He's halfway there and he's got 1 out in the second inning.
This would be a sacrifice attempt just to move the runner from first up, stay out of a double play. If he was real good at placing his bunt, one thing he could do is bunt it toward third, and if Tomas comes in down the line to get it, Simmons can come with him, wait to see what he's going to do with it, and he could decide if he had a chance to break and score if the throw goes to first.
But bunting 97 on the corners is awfully tough. Fultonevich will try again with no 2 count. He got it down. It's right back to the pitcher, though, and he's going to throw a lob job to first base, and it's a sacrifice that moves Cunningham to second. Nice work by Fultonevich, and they're at second and third with 2 outs for Jace Peterson.
Real nice job. Helped himself out with a big double at home. Picked up 3 RBIs, and not an easy job to bunt that.
We told you earlier the Braves with 11 2-out runs scored in this series. Let's see if Peterson can provide 2 more with a hit. He struck out to start the game. The pitch to him is down and in. 1 ball, no strikes. Braves have flourished since Peterson moved to the leadoff spot and hitting a shade under 300 in the last 34 games for Atlanta. This is not a 5-10 game streak for Jace. This has been extended success.
2 to him.
And that's a spot on the inner part of the plate that's given him some trouble in the past. If that was too far in.
There's a number that might surprise you. Peterson's tied for second on the team in walks. Markakis is first. Freeman and Peterson, I beg your pardon, each with 19. So he's getting on base in myriad ways. 2 balls, no strikes.
They're 12-7 now with him in the leadoff spot. And that's after the loss last night. So right-handed hitter on deck. They haven't shown him anything that he could put in play, but let's see if he gets a green light here.
Lots of pitches for De La Rosa. He's about to make his 46th. And he missed with it. So 2 walks in the inning, and the bases are loaded for Cameron Maybin. And he's our T-Mobile game changer. He too has flourished at the top of the order.
Had a great month of May, as you said earlier, Chip. His last 18 games, over 300, almost a 400 on base percentage, and has jumped his average up to 256 at the start of play today, and he's already got a hit this afternoon.
It's a laser into the seats to the right, and out of play, strike 1. And a chat from Saltalamacchia. Cameron Maybin's done great work this year with the bases loaded. He's 4 for 6 at the plate. And hitting .429 overall with runners in scoring position for the Braves. 15 hits and 35 tries. Missed a corner, even count.
Obviously, De La Rosa wanted that one. PNC Bank Fox track shows you just off that low outside corner. Great movement on the pitch.
Cameron now is down to his final strike. It's 1-2. Simmons, Cunningham, and Peterson are the base runners. Good speed aboard if Cameron could split a gap. And out of play again.
Saltalamacchia was kind of tapping the dirt, hoping to get that pitch down, knowing that even if it's a ball out of the zone low, Maybin may be forced to try to protect the plate. Wouldn't be able to do much with it. But instead he left it about knee high. Good save there.
Making this kid work, that's for sure. Rosa, 51 pitches. Hot shot past Goldschmidt and into the right field corner. 2 runs are going to score. Cameron Maben comes through again with runners in scoring position. He hits an opposite field single, and Atlanta has struck for 2 more in the second inning. You put it in play, good things happen, and Maben's 2 for 2 in his return to the lineup.
And a great at bat. Fouling off the pitch before to stay alive. He gets a fastball in the middle of the plate. And I got to say, if Trumbo's playing right field this afternoon, that ball probably gets to the fence and clears the bases. But Inciarte is over there quickly to cut it off and holds Maben to a 2-run single instead. Great at bat.
13 2-out runs for the Braves in the 3-game series so far, and now Freeman bats with men at the corners and 2 out. And he shoots one opposite field foul. Strike 1.
Leadoff walk on a 3-2 breaking ball got it started.
Peterson 90 feet away at third base. Maben at first. Freeman calls it at the plate.
Cameron Maben now second on the team in RBIs behind Freddie Freeman.
He's got a big lead at first. 2 strikes. And too high for the Braves first baseman. 1-2 your count. Well, De La Rosa, as we said earlier, receives a ton of run support. He needs at least 4 today to avoid getting beat. It's 3-0 Braves. The pitch. Maben runs. Swing and a drive. Belted deep right field. Break out the tape measure. Freddie Freeman unloads with a mammoth home run.
Ruby De La Rosa shook off 2 signs from Saltalamacchia before he decided on this one that landed about 25 rows back. Oh boy, left it up, and on an 0-2, make it a 1-2 count. No doubter.
You might recall Freddie Freeman had a 20-game homerless streak for the Braves. He has taken care of that in a big way on this trip. A massive 3-run home run. A 5-run second for the Braves, who now lead 6-0 in Game 3 in Phoenix. And Freeman now 32 knocked in. 1 ball, 1 strike. Joking with Freddie before the game. I said, hey man, hit one in the pool. He said, nope, I'm going over the pool. He had the right idea. He just had bad aim. Straight away right and a long way up.
He went over the pool 2 nights ago. Hit it over the hot tub.
Out of play foul. Believe it or not, that is Freddie Freeman's first homer this year with 2 runners on base or better. And that's what you call a quick strike. He'll be the only member of the traveling party sad to leave Phoenix. The way he's hit the Diamondbacks pitching staff. Markakis couldn't stop the swing, and he's rung up. And that'll retire the side. 5 strikeouts for De La Rosa, but he allowed 5 runs in the second inning. The big blow, Freeman's 3-run blast.
Braves just put up 5 in the top of the inning thanks to the hot bat of Freddie Freeman and Cameron Maybin, who's back in the lineup today after 2 days out with a sore leg, but he picked up right where he left off and talked to Cameron Maybin about just what he's been able to do this season and how he's talked with Jace Peterson about becoming a big 1-2 punch at the top of the lineup, setting the tone for the lineup, doing big things. The two spent a lot of time together discussing baseball away from the field. They go back to San Diego together. They developed a great friendship. We're so happy to be in Atlanta together, and you can really tell that they work together well, guys.
You're right, Christina. We talked to Cameron back in San Francisco about the just concluded series with the Dodgers, and he said, look, folks in San Diego treated me great. As David Peralta hits one out toward left field, and that's grabbed by Todd Cunningham. Cameron said, I like the mountains. I like country music. I like being in Braves country. And amazingly enough, he said that really since coming to Atlanta, this is the first time that he's really had in-depth instruction about the mechanics of his swing and what makes Cameron Maybin such a special Major League Baseball player. He's really loved working with Kevin Seitzer and the rest of the staff.
That's why you've seen his average climb. We showed you those numbers, and by and large a lot of it is from second base to the first base foul line. He's hitting the ball the other way, including that base hit today, clutch hit. A couple of things about that 5-run inning, though. I mean, the leadoff walk, Simmons had a great at bat to get the walk, and then on an 0-2 count, Fultonevich getting the bunt down. It was an out, but a productive out. Put runners in scoring position. They pitched around. It looked as if they pitched around Peterson, and it led to Maybin's hit.
How many times last year did we see the Braves staff have no chance at all to lay down a bunt?
No,
it was 0-2 count or 2-0 count. It was awful.
It was.
But that was certainly a focus this spring for Roger McDowell and the staff, and pitchers by and large have helped themselves at the plate with hits, bases on balls, sacrifice bunts. As this one's beaten off the plate, Chris Johnson charges, has to throw on the run, and Owens outran the baseball, an infield hit.
That's like the third or fourth one of those for the Diamondbacks. They are just pounding the ball straight in the ground. Off the plate, Chris had the best shot at it coming toward first base, but even so couldn't get it there in time. I think Owens had one of the other ones I'm talking about.
He's got a 7-game hitting streak. A double in game 1, a single last night, and an infield hit here in the second. So Fultonevich will face Jared Saltalamacchia. After the Marlins let go of Saltalamacchia, Arizona signed him May 8th. And things haven't gone particularly well for Salty at the plate out west. He's just 4 for 41 overall this year. And since putting on a Diamondbacks uniform, he's 2 for 12 with 5 strikeouts.
3 infield hits and 1 bunt single for the Diamondbacks in this series already.
So for Fultonevich, he's got a big lead. He got out of the first inning. As Joe mentioned, his first inning ERA over 10. After the first inning, his ERA is under 3. But he's got to throw strikes.
Yep.
A pretty pitch. It's 2-2.
The thing about Mike from when we first saw him, like in spring training and even his first start when he came up, is that he's not maxing out on every fastball. He can throw and sit 97, 98 if he wants to, but the command misses.
Yeah, and that's a good point. We have not seen in this game, at least, and it's still very early, but Mike would miss arm side up and away to lefties, up and into righties with great frequency. Knock on wood, we haven't seen much of that in his last couple of starts on the trip, as that one popped away from Bethencourt, but not far enough.
Well, the point is he's able to throw strikes at 94, 95 with pretty good consistency. And when he wants to, when he gets ahead in the count, if he wants to rear back and let it go, he can, and pop that 97. So he's learning to pitch.
Ripped into right field. That'll bounce in front of Markakis. And Saltalamacchia coming to life at the plate. And 2 are on for Chad Pennington, the shortstop.
Middle of the plate, made him swing the bat. He got a base hit. He lived with it.
I said Chad Pennington earlier. I beg your pardon. It's Cliff Pennington. I'm already thinking about football for some reason. Pennington at 185 for the year. No homers and 3 knocked in. That's inside. 1 ball, no strikes. Nick Ahmed's their regular shortstop. They're delighted with his work defensively. He's come along at the plate. And Pennington gets a chance to play in the series wrap up today. And no chance for Bethancourt, who can't find it. It's up off the screen. And Freeman tracks it down between the on deck circle and the dugout. That's as wild a wild pitch as you'll see. 2 balls, no strikes.
Ball was in the dirt, granted. No, fastball. Sorry, thought it was in the dirt. I thought the 2 sounds I heard were the glove and the umpire's shin guard. I've heard of throwing a fastball by somebody. He threw it by everybody.
And that bothered the home plate umpire. Manny Gonzalez, he did a deep knee bend behind the plate. Ouch. That got him above the knee, and he's lucky it didn't hit him in the right hand, too.
Pass ball, not a wild pitch.
Wow, okay. To the right side, Freeman with the stab. That's going to score a run. Owings comes home on the ground out to first. It's now a 6-1 game. And De La Rosa is scheduled to hit. RBI for Pennington. De La Rosa, not much of a hitter. He's 1 for 22. And that one is a fair ball. He swung and didn't run, and he'll be an easy out. Arizona gets a run on 2 hits. A passed ball helped them score their lone run this afternoon. We head to third. It's a 6-1 Braves lead. Get Terrace View seats for $24 when the Braves take on the Red Sox June 17th and 18th. That's a savings of 40%. Go to Braves.com/steal and reserve your seats now. And remember, you must buy them today. The Red Sox are in town. on June 17th and June 18th. After this long road trip wraps up for Atlanta, we have a 3-game set coming up with Pirates, a 4-game set with San Diego, then we hit the road again.
Yeah, I get to come home for a whole week.
Yep. At New York, at Boston, home for the Red Sox and Mets again. And that gets us to late June. A strike to Chris Johnson, who starts the 3rd inning. The Braves lead now 5 runs. It's 6-1. Chris struck out in the Braves' first.
I know one guy who's enjoyed this good start today, and that's William Wolf, big Braves fan who is at Grady Hospital, injured in an accident. One of the biggest Braves fans of anybody. Hope he's feeling better. Strikeout's not a problem here for Ruby.
No. Chris has struck out twice. And that'll bring up Edwin Simmons. So looking at the National League All-Star voting tabulations before the game today, here's a shocker for you. This man is not in the top 5 in voting for the All-Star game. No shortstops. Ground ball to Pennington. Strong throw gets him. There's out number 2. On his defense alone, you'd have to put Simmons in the shortstop conversation. In fact, there's only one Brave who's in the top 5 at any position, and that's A.J. Przinsky, who's 4th among catchers. So Braves country, you got to get to the internet and start voting for your favorite player. Get him in the All-Star game.
Yeah, it's not about home games anymore where people are at the ballpark voting and punching their tickets and casting their ballots. You can do it online.
Bouncing ball by Cunningham is into center field. He's 2 for 2. All of a sudden, Todd's bats come to life.
You could hear somebody in the dugout yelling, "Get up!"
I had to guess I'd say it's Johnny Gomes.
Probably.
Boy, Todd. And that brings up Bethencourt. Sharply hit, deep, short, and past the diving Cliff Pennington. So Braves measuring up the fastball of De La Rosa here in this 3rd inning. A couple of 2-out hits, and at the very least, Atlanta clears the pitcher. That's 6 runs on 6 Braves hits.
Another fastball this time. Christian catches up early in the count.
Voltynewicz got down a 2-strike sacrifice that helped lead to a big inning. The Braves scored 5 runs with 2 outs last inning. 6 Atlanta runs with 2 outs today. Who do you think Mike has in the Stanley Cup Finals? Chicago boy, you know.
Yeah, I would say. Starts tonight, doesn't it?
Blackhawks and Lightning. Pretty good playoff beard working today, too. No balls, 2 strikes. 2 on, 2 out. And a swing and a miss. That's 7 strikeouts for De La Rosa, but he trails big 6-1 after 2.5.
Presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Right stuff, low price, every day.
That's a view of the Fan Plaza outside Chase Field in Phoenix, where the Braves lead 6-1 heading to the bottom of inning number 3.
It was a beautiful piece of art too, wasn't it?
Well, let me ask you. So you brought it up. Do you like that better, or do you like the sculpture in Miami?
Oh, I'll take 10 of these here.
Look at all the Braves fans. They're enjoying the game. Offense has not been the problem for the Braves. They scored 8 runs in game 1. They scored 6 runs yesterday. They already have 6 runs in their first 3 trips to the plate today. They got Mike Fultonevich working effectively. A big 3-run homer for Freddie Freeman. Capped the 5-run Braves second.
Oh, Fulte fooled me there. I didn't know they'd called time. I thought he'd gone to his Bronson Arroyo leg kick. Did you see him?
They'll be glad to get Bronson Arroyo back. He's coming back from Tommy John surgery.
How about that? Talking about bad luck from the Diamondbacks standpoint. There's Arroyo.
And he heated up Inciarte upstairs and struck him out. Good start to the 3rd inning.
9-7. Arroyo not on the disabled list his whole career with the Reds. In the first year over here with the Diamondbacks, blows out his elbow. But he'll be back soon.
As will be Patrick Corbin, who's begun to work in extended spring training games. But there are a lot of similarities. We showed you that graphic briefly about the Braves and Diamondbacks. Both these teams retooling, rebuilding, however you want to put it, behind young pitching staffs. Getting Arroyo back will certainly skew that number for Arizona, which has the 3rd youngest staff. Braves are the youngest starting staff. But not surprisingly, Tony La Russa always had pitching dominant teams. Dave Stewart, his general manager, a terrific pitcher in his own right in the big leagues. And they also have the #1 overall pick in the amateur draft next week. There's a lot of speculation about who Arizona might choose first.
Yeah, they're talking about a couple of high school shortstops. I don't know names. Ooh, look at that breaking ball. That was nice.
Pollock didn't expect that. 4 strikeouts and 2 in a row in the inning.
Just a tight one, just a little short slider. Almost doesn't throw a cutter, but that was like a cutter.
Paul Goldschmidt bats. He flied to center his first time. Yeah, Darby Swanson is the shortstop at Vandy. Some say he might be the first pick.
So he's a college guy, not high school. So my bad on that.
Brendan Rodgers is the high school kid from Lake Mary, Florida, just north of Orlando. And Dylan Tate of UC Santa Barbara is a very highly thought of pitcher. Braves, as you know, have 5 of the first 75 picks in the draft. In the first round, they draft 14th and 28th. And the Braves have the 4th highest bonus pool available, we're told. John Campolella was with the ball club out on the West Coast, watching the Braves play in the last 2 cities. He's already made his way back to Atlanta for big meetings as the draft takes place next Monday. So these are exciting times for the real backbones of any great organization. And the Braves for years have been served so ably by terrific men who've scouted far and wide to bring a lot of talent to this organization. So they're excited.
That was not a good walk. 2 out, nobody on, 5-run lead. I know how good Goldschmidt's been, but that was one you want to just get after him.
So he's at first with 2 outs. Tomas the batter, and didn't get it. Strike 1. He struck out to end the first. Nobody's doubting this kid's bat. They wonder whether the glove will work at third base. He's got 6 errors there. And a line drive down the left field line. That's headed for the corner. Cunningham will cut it off on the track. Goldschmidt on his way to third, and he'll stop there. Tomas slides into second base. And the walk is followed by a double, and Fultonevich has 3rd inning trouble.
Sped up his bat with a slider. breaking ball that was up. It may have been a curveball that just hung up there and gave him a chance to catch up. So 2-out walk leads to trouble. Gonna have to get Peralta here.
There's been quite a find for the Diamondbacks. David Peralta pitched in the Cardinals organization. He was a pitcher, that's right. Had 2 shoulder surgeries, never got out of A-ball. Went to the independent leagues where a Diamondback scout watched him swing the bat. This one's hit a mile down the left field line and slicing into the bullpen foul. That was close. We play with the Rio Grande Valley White Wings and the Wichita Wingnuts. When Arizona scout Chris Carminucci found him, he's their coordinator of independent league scouting. Yeah, Peralta has been a nice outfielder and a good hitter since putting on a Diamondback uniform. There's a story about him during spring training. Kevin Powers just watched him run down the first base line and was impressed at how hard he ran in what was seemingly a meaningless game. That made an impression on Kevin when he was still the GM here. He got the call up. He's been here ever since. In the air toward left, Cunningham on the run. That's over his head and off the base of the wall, and 2 runs are going to score. So now the Diamondbacks come back with some 2-out offense. And Joe's right. That 2-out walk to Goldschmidt has led to big problems. It's now a 6-3 game.
Just because there's 2 outs and you don't want to give in to Goldschmidt, the worst he can make it would have been 6-2. And instead, the walk, it's a 2-run inning at least. And that one almost out of here.
A couple of curveballs that have been hit hard by the Diamondbacks. And now Mike back to the fastball. He's ahead of Owens, strike 1.
That's 9 out of 11 first pitch strikes since the Braves took a 6-0 lead.
And I think Mike just balked. He did. So now a little more pressure on Christian Bethancourt, who already has a passed ball today.
Yeah. The flinch, he didn't go on and into his stretch and didn't step off. The Diamondbacks right back in this game.
6-3 now in the third pitch. And Owens is down on strikes. A little country hardball there. Pitch thrown with some anger. A walk and back-to-back doubles makes it a 6-3 game. $18th, it's our steal of the week, and if you buy today you can get Terrace View seats for $24, a savings of 40%. off the listed ticket price. Go to Braves.com/steal and reserve your seats now. Remember, you got to buy those Braves Red Sox tickets today. So the young flamethrowers learning some painful lessons today. 2-out walk to Paul Goldschmidt led to 2 Arizona runs off Mike Foltynewicz. Ruby De La Rosa, he got away from his fastball in the second inning. That cost him 5 runs. And we go back to the top of the order in the Braves' fourth. Peterson, Maben, and Freddie Freeman. One ball, one strike. That's cued foul behind the plate. 2-2 for Jace Peterson, who looks to extend his hitting streak to 7 games today.
So 278 on the road trip coming into play today. He's already drawn a walk and scored a run. His on base percentage much higher than that because of the walks.
And he hits one a mile high toward right, and that's playable for Inciarte. He's in a few steps and he makes the play for out number 1. Two hits, 2 runs, 2 RBIs for Cameron Maben today. That's blown away. 1 ball, no strikes. Call the corner, 2-1.
Well, he's been pretty accurate on that spot today, and he's been getting the call because he's been living there. Ball's been coming back, tailing a little bit to the outside corner.
Yeah, he might have hit the same spot. 2-2. That's back out of play. Foul toward the Diamondbacks radio booth. Their TV guys have an off day today. Steve Berthium and Bob Brenly getting ready for the Mets, who come in next. Braves head home for the Pirates Friday night. 2-2 is low. Full count for Maben. The Mets are in San Diego later on. Mets start play a half game behind the Nationals. The Braves are 3 games out of first in the East. To second. It should be easy for Owens. It is. 2 out. There have not been many ground ball outs for De La Rosa in the game. But he just got Maben, and here's Freddie Freeman on bringing the lumber feature.
And didn't he, though, on an 0-2 pitch? Fastball that tailed back to the middle or outer third of the plate. Real launch job. They don't give you measurements here, which is kind of odd because it's such a especially big ballpark to center. If anybody hits one out to center, you ought to be really marking it, which Freddie did here on Monday night. Two home runs in San Francisco, 2 here. Good finish to his road trip. Now they've got the ship done.
And he hits it the other way a ton. That's deep to left. That one's going to go. A 2-homer game for Freddie Freeman. I think I said it in the first game of the series. When he starts hitting the ball to the left, somebody's going to pay. And it's Luby De La Rosa this afternoon. A 2-homer, 4 RBI game, and the Braves get one of those runs back.
Freddie's dad was in San Francisco, and so was a bunch of his other members of his family, but his dad stayed on the trip, came here, and he's certainly enjoying watching this display. 6th multi-homer game of his career.
The way this one's going, he might have 2 more cracks at the Diamondbacks. He loves hitting in Phoenix. 7-3, Atlanta the lead and some momentum back. And now Markakis shoots one toward left center field. That's going to get down and roll to the wall. Markakis has another double, his 2nd of the day. And Atlanta just continues to punish the Diamondbacks with 2 out hits in this series.
2 doubles today already for Markakis, 2 last night. That was a changeup down that he took the other way. And he had 2 singles in game 1.
Seven more 2-out runs for the Braves today. That brings up Chris Johnson. He has struck out twice.
No.
And we do have the measurements.
Oh, good.
Home run number 1 to right, 449 feet. Home run number 2, 380.
Had to go to an outside consulting firm to get those.
Yep.
Cool.
So for Freddie Freeman, 15 career games now at Chase Field. He's hit 6 homers. He's knocked in 20, and he scored 14 runs. 1 ball, 1 strike. Off the plate for Chris. Now 2-1.
When he hit to center Monday night, 451 feet.
Told him he was going to hit 2 today.
Did you?
Yep. Remember I said hit 1 in the pool. He said nope, going over the pool. Went to the right, to the left. Maybe a square one up for the Knights over in Phoenix. 2 balls, 2 strikes for Chris Johnson. 7-3 Atlanta. The Braves already have 9 hits. And Chris couldn't stop his swing. He struck out for the 3rd time. A hat trick for Chris. And Freddie Freeman's 2nd homer of the day makes it a 7-3 game. of the fourth inning. Saltalamacchia, Pennington, and the pitcher coming up. As we said, our Georgia Lottery hitting the jackpot. Excellent starting pitching by the Braves starting staff. 6 of the first 9 games have been splendid. 3 rough ones, including Shelby Miller yesterday. Rare blemish for Shelby. First time in 10 starts he's allowed more than 2 earned runs.
As he said after the game, he was just off. He said everybody's going to have a game or two where they're just off, and he said I was. He even mentioned the start by Felix Hernandez earlier in the week where he got lit up.
Saltalamacchia lifts one to deep center. That's playable for Cameron Maben. Spikes flashing as he makes his way to within a step or 2 of the track. And Saltalamacchia is out number 1. Well, the starting pitching's been good. That's the good news, bad news part of the equation from the pitching standpoint for Atlanta. The bullpen's been, as you would say, racky-tacked quite a bit out west. To help avoid that, Brave starters need to take it 7. See if Mike can do that with a big lead. He's up 7-3 and pitching into the 4th inning. Pennington bounced out to first. That brought home Chris Owings with the first Arizona run. And it's 2 balls, no strikes. Two walks in the game for Foltynewicz. Pollock in the first, Goldschmidt in the third. He has struck out 5. De La Rosa has struck out a career high tying 8, and he's on deck.
Mike has a streak of 5 straight starts with 7 or more.
That's in the air toward right center. Markakis is there and has it. Pennington's the second out. So no fiddling around here. Let's get De La Rosa and get the Braves back in the batter's box.
I don't think he'd be hitting, except that what their bullpen had to do to cover up the 17-inning game in Milwaukee on Sunday. They had to pitch 4 innings Monday. They had to cover 4 innings last night. So they've been used up a lot. Otherwise, I feel like you'd see a pinch hitter here.
So with 2 outs, De La Rosa's back up. And ball 1 missed upstairs. One final in the National League. The Cardinals beat Milwaukee today. That's a 7-4 final. It's a shame for Matt Holliday. His on-base streak ended after apparently arguing balls and strikes with Joe West yesterday. Mike Matheny couldn't get out and save him from Cowboy Joe, as that ball squibbed to first, and an easy play ends the inning for Foltynewicz.
Well, as we all know, those St. Louis Cardinal fans showed up to watch Joe umpire yesterday.
7-3, we head to the 5th. store at Turner Field this weekend. Located on the terrace level near the Chop House, the Braves game used store offers authenticated game used baseballs, bases, lineup cards, autographed items, and much more, including game used on deck circles. Make sure you stop by the Braves game used store at Turner Field and take home a piece of the action. We got to get one of those on deck circles for our booth.
Why not?
Right?
Yeah. That'd be a great idea.
Right where we do our stand-ups for the game, so we get pumped up for action. See if Beth Marshall can work on that for us for the game.
Dave Poole and Val would have us, positioned correctly.
It's very important. Simmons takes a little low. 1 ball, no strikes. Anderson has walked, scored, and grounded out. And takes a called strike. When we get home Friday, somehow, some way, the Braves have to find out a way to cool off the hottest man on the planet. That's Andrew McCutchen of Pittsburgh. Bouncing ball deep short. Quick release by Pennington gets Andrelton Simmons. Nifty play, 1 out. Andrew McCutchen, first week of May, was hitting $185. He said, quote, "I'm fed up with that," and he's gone on a tear since. His last 26 games, McCutchen's hitting .396, 5 homers, 21 RBIs. He scored 17 runs.
He had a knee that was bothering him too early on, though. Might have something to do with that sub 200 average. Ow.
Cunningham, a perfect day and a bruise to boot. 2 hits now. A hit by pitch.
A bruise to what?
Bruise 2.
Also?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure where it hit him,
Yeah.
so I thought maybe you did.
Oh, no.
Oh, okay. Side of the leg there. I think he got dinged with a pitch earlier in this road trip. He's been wearing an ice pack around one of his calves. I hope that's not the one that got hit again.
Christian Bethencourt swings and misses. He's struck out and singled. Pirates are winning in San Francisco again, 2-1. That game's in the 5th. Pittsburgh's giving the Giants some more trouble. They beat them 7-4 yesterday. A little hangover from the Braves comeback in the finale at AT&T Park.
Yeah, I think that would be a sweep, wouldn't it? If they hold on and win.
Giants all of a sudden 2 games behind the Dodgers and only 4 games ahead of San Diego in the National League West.
It's Tim Hudson pitching today
Against Liriano for Pittsburgh.
Friday night. Braves are going to see their old teammate Charlie Morton, who's back pitching after battling a lot of injuries, including a bad hip. He's 2-0.
I think he had the A-Rod Tulowitzki.
Did he?
Sir, I believe that's what it was. I know he did have an operation to try to fix that.
And then a former Braves farmhand, Jeff Locke. And then the red hot Garrett Cole.
Runner goes. Pitch a strike. Throw to second is also a strike. Saltalamacchia throws out Cunningham, who's caught for the first time trying to steal.
Little bit of a late crossover. Good catch and release by Saltalamacchia. Boy, got rid of it quick.
So base is empty. 2 strikes for Bethencourt. And a ground ball to short. Pennington's got it. And the peg to first ends the inning. We head to the bottom of the 5th inning. Top of the order up for the Diamondbacks. Atlanta leads game 3, 7-3. TNT Universe trivia question. Mike Fultonevich, one of 2 starting pitchers with 5 straight 7 or better strikeout games this year. Who's the other pitcher that's had a similar streak?
I think I know this. Is it Carrasco?
For Cleveland?
Yeah.
Or Corey Kluber?
Corey Kluber.
Corey Kluber's pitching today, by the way, for Cleveland. Last 4 starts for the Indians. And reigning Cy Young Award winner, 50 strikeouts and 2 walks in his last 4 outings. So maybe that's the answer. Didn't say National League, right? So just,
yeah, I'll tell you what, you take one and I'll take the other, and you got it covered.
I'm going with Kluber.
Okay, I'll go Carrasco.
All right, so we'll let you all ponder that in Braves country for a bit as Ender Inciarte starts off the 5th inning. He struck out twice. And that's served to right. Off-speed pitch had him way out in front. And that's 3 fly ball outs from Fultonevich over the last 4 hitters he's faced.
And 5 in a row since he gave up that double to Peralta. J.C. Ramirez had a real rough outing here yesterday. Did not record an out. Gave up 2 hits, a walk, and all 3 runners scored.
Here's Pollock. He's walked and he has struck out. Ramirez up because De La Rosa's at 101 pitches after 5 innings of work. 7-3 Atlanta. Goldschmidt on deck. Out of the corner. We've seen the curveball from Fultonevich. We've seen the slider from Fultonevich today.
When he bounces a ball in the dirt, he really dislikes it.
He's not going to like that much either. Pollock has hit a homer. Only the 5th home run surrendered by Fultonevich. And Pollock unloads. Boy, he's been a good player. He hurt us last night. He hurts us today. Fastball, belt high, and he mashed it.
A whole lot more power than I thought he had. That ball he hit to right center last night. Very impressive. He's up to 7 home runs. He hit how many last year? 7 altogether last year, but also was hurt. 8's his career high. And he can go get him in center. Good player.
So 7-4 your score. The Diamondbacks had their homer streak end at 9 consecutive games in the series, but they've started a new one. A homer last night, a homer today. That gives them a long ball in 11 of 12 games. And 51 of them in total as a team. Goldschmidt the other way. Hits that one deep. Markakis on the warning track. He was there to retire the Arizona first baseman. 2 out.
Started to say a minute ago that Mike gets upset with himself. You can tell by his body language, kind of kicking at the dirt a little bit when he bounces one up there, because in order for that breaking ball to be effective and get him off his fastball, they're not going to swing at it if it's bouncing. Maybe 0-2 you get a swing at a bad pitch, but earlier in the count it's got to be at least down enough that the catcher's catching it in the air and making him chase.
Tomas has doubled and scored.
Wow, madmen are here.
Nice. Check that flask, by the way. No swing, 1 ball, 1 strike.
There's a good breaking ball. Didn't try to overthrow that. Beauty.
Ooh, he thought he had him struck out.
Mercy.
Didn't get the call. 2-2.
That's one of those where he reaches back for a little extra. 98. He put it right there. PNC Bank. No loans for you today, Gonzalez.
Now he's gone full. You've got Peralta next. He almost homered last time up. A tough place to pitch. Ball flies. And a bouncing ball hit toward Chris Johnson. Short hop, can't glove it cleanly. And Yasmani Tomas reaches on an infield hit. And what a difference this inning could be were it not for that missed strike 3 call.
Yeah. Going to cost him a few pitches. 4th infield hit for the D-backs, plus a bunt single.
Left middle finger what was troubling Peralta. He hit one a long way to left today. He does it again. This one left center. Maben, though, slowing at the edge of the track. He got it. And that will tie the side. A homer and a single for the Diamondbacks in the 5th. We're in the Arizona bullpen with a 7-4 lead. In Phoenix, we fly back to Atlanta after the game tonight. Off day Thursday. Then we look ahead to the Pittsburgh Pirates. Our Toyota key look ahead. A Pittsburgh club that's on a real roll over the last 12 ball games. And as Joe mentioned, Morton, Locke, and Garrett Cole, the trio of starters facing the Braves in that series. Saturday's game is a Fox national telecast. Joe and I will work Friday, Sunday. Tom Glavine will join us for those 2 games at Turf Field as well.
Pirates, everybody was concerned about it. Everybody said, what's wrong with this ball club? A lot of people picked them to win the National League Central this year. So that slow start had everybody hot and bothered, but you saw they've won 10 out of 12. They're now 4 games over 500 and winning again today.
Braves touched up De La Rosa for 7 runs on 9 hits. He did strike out 8. 2 homers, both to Freddie Freeman. And as we go to the 6th inning, Fultonevich leads off. Chase Peterson and Cameron Maben are scheduled. J.C. Ramirez got clobbered yesterday. That was down the right field line and into the seats. He came in the 6th inning, walked the first guy he saw. A.J. Brzezinski touched him for a 2-run single. Johnny Gomes a double. All part of a 5-run 6th inning.
Well, he's another guy that comes in throwing hard, but location and movement are so important. 94, 97, somewhere in that range. You just saw the slider, but it was off the plate. There's one.
That was a good one. So he retires the first man he faces. Antonevich is out number 1. And back to the top we go with Jace Peterson. Reds got some good news yesterday. Johnny Cueto looked good for Cincinnati. Reds have had a rough year. Johnny Cueto might be a very attractive trade possibility for clubs looking for starting pitching. The Reds are already 11 games out of first place at 22 and 28. And another attractive trade candidate is pitching later today. Cole Hamels will pitch for the Phillies. They host the Reds again. Mike Leake will go for Cincinnati. Got bad news yesterday. Marlon Byrd hit by a pitch, broke his hand.
Yeah, that's awful.
Marlon was doing good things for the Reds this year. So he's out for a while for Cincinnati. 1 ball, 1 strike. And that's downstairs. 2-1.
Reds and the Phillies are a lot alike. They don't play well on the road. They do just fine at home. Phillies are 7-20 on the road. Cincinnati 9-17.
There's a strike to Jace. 2-2. Braves will be big Toronto Blue Jay fans as they fly back to Atlanta. The Jays are in Washington again. Ground ball toward first. Good pick by Goldschmidt. He'll race to the bag and make the play. And Cameron Maben, the batter. Maben, a couple of hits, couple of runs, and 2 RBIs. Braves led this one 6-0. It's now 7-4. One ball, no strikes for Maben. Washington's hit the skids a bit. They've lost 6 of their last 10 games. The Mets hanging in a half game back, as I told you. The Braves 3 out. Marlins and Phillies duking it out for last place. Burley is the man pitching for Toronto. Bouncing ball high at third. Tomas can't get it. Pennington did. Quick release, but Maben legs out an infield hit, and it's good for the Goose.
Yeah.
Gander. He's got 2 of them today.
There we go. A little payback. There's sinking action on that fastball. Good pitch. Not a good result.
So Saltalamacchia went to the mound. You know what I think he said? Maybe you don't do exactly what De La Rosa did to this guy, because it hasn't worked out very well.
Might have.
A 2-homer day for Freddie Freeman. 6th of his career. 5 of them have come against National League Western teams.
And here are some updated career numbers against the Diamondbacks. Cool thing about his second homer today is, despite their big shift, he hit the homer to the opposite field. But in this ballpark, 6 homers and 20 RBIs.
2 of those 6 multi-homer games have come against Arizona in the dirt. 1 ball, no strikes.
Is that right?
Yep.
Didn't know that.
5 of 6 against the West. 2 of the 5 against the Arizona Ball Club. And way ahead in the count, 2-0. knees.
Really good pitch 2-0 to a guy that they haven't had any luck getting out. Struck him out looking in the first inning, but that's about the only good fortune they've had in this series against Freddie. So does he back it up 2-1?
He better not miss.
Something off speed.
It was on the outer part of the plate. Freddie couldn't connect. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
That's a straight change. It died off the plate.
Second part of the board's got the count wrong. It's a 1 ball, 2 strike count.
Try that again.
And he tied him up on the inner half. Freeman's caught looking. And Ramirez an effective inning of relief. We go to the bottom of the 6th. A 3-run Braves game. Road trip wrap up. Christina Fitzpatrick reporting by the Braves dugout. Mike Foltynewicz. 4 runs on 6 hits. Got Owens, Saltalamacchia, and Pennington coming up. He can use an easy frame. He has 1, 2, 3 innings so far today. That was in the 4th. Play foul left side, 1 and 2 for the Diamondbacks second baseman. Popped up, foul ground, long run. Freeman over near the stands. He runs into the railing and could not make a play.
Hit that railing pretty hard, too.
One ball, 2 strikes. Is it just me, or is the foul screen here in Arizona a little bit bigger than most ballparks?
It is. Wider.
Yeah. It's all the way beyond the on-deck circles. A hot shot and a diving play at third by Chris Johnson. Nice dive. And he gets his man for out number 1.
Nice play. Chris had a rough day at the plate. Brings in a nice play here to save a double. Another breaking ball that was not where he wanted it. Good reactions by Johnson.
And I'm told this protective netting was extended out past the on-deck circles this year for fan safety. That idea.
I think it's a great idea. I think they ought to take it down past the dugouts. In every park. Too many people get smoked on those line drives over the top of the dugout.
That's hooking foul. And Saltalamacchia behind. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Hope Jared does well out here in the desert. He's a good guy. Brave. He can help this team. He's a better hitter than he's shown so far this year. And he rifles that one toward Marquez in right, and Nick can't get it. It's out of reach and off the fence. Saltalamacchia in at second with a 1-out double. He's got a 2-hit game. He's 4 for his last 11 after a 2 for 33 run.
Well, he was all over that fastball. Target was high from Bethencourt. Pitch was not. And you can see Fulte's reaction. He thought that might get out of here the way it took off from the bat.
And so as Foltynewicz approaches 100 pitches, the Braves bullpen begins to work. 7-4 game, and that's off the plate for Pennington. He's got an RBI, but is 0 for 2.
Well, this is the part of the game that we've been talking about that the Braves have been a little short in, and that's the 6th and 7th inning. Occasionally the 8th.
On this road trip, the Braves pitching staff has allowed 24 runs in innings 1 through 5. They've allowed 20 runs in innings 6, 7, and 8. 1 ball, 1 strike. Popped up. That's over the Arizona dugout foul. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Aaron Hill is on deck. He's got home run power. Ground ball right side. That'll get a man to third, but it costs Arizona a 2nd out. So Saltalamacchia 90 feet away, and it will be Aaron Hill. Ramirez pitched a 1-hit inning of relief. And struck out 2. So Aaron Hill, the batter. Saltalamacchia 90 feet away, and Roger McDowell out. And Foltynewicz is starting the court. Going to be wary of Aaron Hill, a power-hitting infielder.
Well, they're getting some pretty good swings on Mike the last couple of innings. A lot of deep fly ball outs. His last strikeout was Owings to end the 3rd inning. So a key here is make a good pitch, get through this inning, and then decide what you're going to do if he feels like going into the 7th, or if you make a change. Leave that guy at 3rd.
Since 2009, only Robinson Cano and Dan Uggla have more homers as a second baseman than Aaron Hill. Good selection there. A slider for a strike.
I will say this, it's tough coming off the bench, catching up to 95 plus. Started him with a breaking ball.
And he's quickly ahead of him, 0-2. Hill's 33 now. This is in his 4th season with Arizona. He came over from the Blue Jays in late August 2011. This man had a 36 homer, 108 RBI year in 2009. 10 homers last year. Pitch. And bounced foul out of play.
His command's a little off. He missed down the middle on that pitch they wanted high to Saltalamacchia. That pitch was supposed to be a fastball away, and it was in. So his gas gauge is running a little low.
0-2. A base hit to left. 7-5 now. Aaron Hill with a pinch hit single. There's a Braves connection with Aaron Hill and the Diamondbacks. He came to Arizona from Toronto for Kelly Johnson, who is still disabled for Atlanta.
I don't like the pitch call. Breaking ball, he hadn't caught up with a fastball yet. He fouled it off a couple of times. Sped up his bat with a breaking ball.
And Aaron Hill made Fultonevich pay. He allows 5 runs, and the Braves are in their pen. It's now a 2-run game. Middle innings in Phoenix.
Baseball is presented by AT&T Uverse, Delta Airlines, and your local Ford dealer.
Mike Fultonevich struck out 5 Diamondbacks. He has allowed 5 runs on 8 hits, and Aaron Hill is his responsibility at first base. There are 2 outs in the inning, but now Atlanta has to go in the pen, and hopefully Luis Avilan can stop this threat right here with 2 outs.
2-0 at 2.57 ERA. Lefties are hitting .289 against him. Inciarte hitting .288 against left-handed pitching, so he's no slouch against the lefties.
So as I said earlier, pitch selection, pitch execution issues for both starting pitchers today. Ruby De La Rosa for the Diamondbacks, Mike Fultonevich for Atlanta. Mike still has a chance to win it if the Braves pen can shut him down the rest of the way. One ball, no strikes for Inciarte, and that's low. Bases on balls have been a huge problem for Atlanta as that pitch was handled awkwardly by Bethancourt.
No free passes in any of the 3 most recent outings for Avilan. Early in the road trip at Los Angeles, he did walk 2 and gave up a run.
For a strike. Braves relief corps has walked 72 men, allowed 21 runs this year. Walks and hits per innings pitched about 1.4. That's a lot. Bouncing ball to first, and Freeman had to move hardly a muscle to make the play. So Avilan gets Inciarte to roll out. Arizona settles for 1, but they're edging a little too close for comfort. It's now 7-5 after 6. Innings of play. Braves have their 4-5 and 6 hitters coming up. Mike Foltynewicz started today. He's one of 2 starters with 5 straight 7 or better strikeout games this year. That streak ended today. Who's the other? I said Corey Kluber for Cleveland.
I'm going Carrasco.
The answer is Corey Kluber.
Bingo.
Who's been rolling for Cleveland after a very rough start. 50 strikeouts, 2 walks. For the reigning Cy Young winner over his last 4 outings. This is Andrew Chafin on to pitch for Arizona. And he delivers a strike to Nick Markakis.
He worked an inning plus yesterday, gave up a hit and a walk, but also picked up the win in relief. Go to 3-0.
Good day at the plate for Nick Markakis. A couple of doubles and an RBI. He's 6 for 12 so far in the series. His 19th multi-hit game today.
The good thing about Avilan coming in to retire the first batter he faced, Inciarte, is that 5 times already this year Luis has pitched multiple innings, so his spot not due up for a bit here.
And Markakis, another opposite field hit. Leadoff single, lefty versus lefty. He's 3 for 4.
However, if the Braves put a rally together, that
there you go.
They make that a moot point.
Let's see if Chris can move Markakis along. He ordinarily wears out left-handed pitching. He had no luck at all against De La Rosa. Ruby struck him out 3 times in his first 3 at-bats.
That'll put Markakis over 300 against left-handed pitching for the year.
What a joy it must be for Freddie Gonzalez. Lefty, righty, doesn't matter. Hit him third, hit him fourth, hit him first, wherever you want. He's going to give you a good at-bat. Way upstairs, ball 2. And Saltalamacchia makes a visit. Yankees are beating Seattle again today. It's 3-1 in the top of the 9th inning at Safeco Field. Yankees have a 1-game lead over Tampa Bay in the AL East. Pirates 3-1 over the Giants in the 7th. There's the only other 2 games still in progress. Red Sox beat the Twins 6-3, as we told you. Cardinals 7, Milwaukee 4 today. Here it's 7-5 Braves. Last game of the series with the Diamondbacks. Hammered down the left field line and to the left of the Diamondbacks bullpen. 3-1.
3-0 green light. Just a little quick on it.
Now it's full. Opposite field hit for Chris Johnson. Back-to-back singles for the Braves, who now have 12 hits on the day. That's how Chris swung the bat a couple of years ago when he nearly won the National League Batting Championship.
Watch how he just inside outs this swing. Wasn't trying to do too much with it. Outer third of the plate, just served it out there. Well done.
His 3rd hit on the road trip. And that may be.
There's no activity in their pen.
So time for a visit from Chip Hale here with Simmons coming up.
A little bit of head bobbing going on there. Same might be said of a visit from Freddie Gonzalez recently, in that, hey, we fought all the way back. We're back within 2 runs. We need a shutdown inning, and you're in the soup again. Let's go.
Chip Hale, the 7th manager in the history of the Diamondbacks. Follows Kirk Gibson, who managed here from 2010 to 2014. And downstairs, Hale's been in the Diamondbacks organization a long time, 11 years.
It's been off and on, though. He's worked for some other people as well.
He managed their Tucson club in 2004, 5, and 6. Had been Bob Melvin's bench coach with the Oakland A's. 1 ball, no strikes. Johnny Gomes on deck. Even bat for Todd Gunningham. Again, nobody up for Arizona in the pen. 7-5, Atlanta leads. 2 on, nobody out. That evens it up. Ball 2.
Even 2-1 ahead in the count for Hamilton. Stay with your program. Hitting it the other way.
Little roller hit to the right side. Throws to second, and they settle for 1 out As Markakis moves up to third base, Chris Johnson's forced out, Simmons at first, and it will be Johnny Gomes with men at the corners.
Good slide at second by Chris Johnson. Help slow that down.
Johnny's had a busy series. He's made 6 starts on the road trip. He had an RBI double in the 6th inning last night. He'll try at the very least to bring home Markakis and give the Braves a little more breathing room.
Those splits pretty consistent with his career numbers, and one of the reasons the Braves were attracted to him as a pinch hitter off the bench and perhaps a platoon player in the outfield. Typically wears lefties out.
Braves second in the National League in pinch hit average. The Phillies have a better team batting average than Atlanta's .275 mark. Johnny Gomes, the active leader in the big leagues with 10 career pinch hit home runs. Oh, one of those would be sweet. But he's behind 0-2.
In this series, when they've gotten ahead of Johnny, they like to crowd him, figuring he's going to be hanging out over the plate or looking for something away. There's another case, an 0-2 pitch that didn't come that close to hitting him, but was way inside.
Popped him up. On a 1-2 pitch, it's popped to the center of the diamond. Who wants it? It'll be Owings, the second baseman. Johnny is the second out. And Christian Bethancourt will be the hitter.
That will eat at that man, not being able to get that guy in from third.
Christian 1 for 3. The Braves catcher singled in the third. He has struck out and he has grounded out. That's rolled foul. This is the spot where the Braves have been so good today.
Yeah.
7 runs with 2 outs.
Okay, the 2 balls Christian's put in play today have been hit hard too. The base hit and the grounder to short. Hit him right on the nose.
That was hit hard, but he's behind 0-2. Juan Uribe's grabbed the bat. If Bethancourt could reach, Juan would hit here in the 7th. Let's see him enter the game defensively, whether he bats here or not, with the Braves up a couple of runs and ready to go to the bullpen again. Let's see how it works out. 2 on, 2 out, 0-2 pitch. Salty smothered that.
Well, that depends on whether or not Avilan stays in the game.
Martin was up and throwing. And still is. Pollock, Goldschmidt, and Tomas are the Arizona hitters up after the stretch. Those are their 2, 3, and 4 batters. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Bethancourt strikes out. The Braves are done in the top of the 7th. Atlanta threatens, can't add a run. It's 7-5 stretch.
international pop sensation Charlie XCX will perform after the game on Wednesday, June 10th, for a free post-game concert presented by Coca-Cola and Delta Airlines. VIP field and backstage passes are available now. Get your tickets now at Braves.com/concerts. A 2-homer day for Freddie Freeman. Hugs all around for everybody. He's certainly living up to that Freddie OFO new nickname he got on this road trip, huh, Joe?
No doubt about it. What a big day for OFO.
6th multi-homer game for Freddie today. And now we go to the 7th inning. Cody Martin is on. 19th time he's pitched. 2, 3, and 4 hitters are up for the Diamondbacks. 2-run lead for the Braves, who led 6-1 after 2. It's now 7-5.
Buckle up.
Yep. Pollock has walked and homered today. And ball 1 is well off the plate.
First batter of any inning is always important when you've got a slim lead late in the ball game, but it's especially so when you've got a guy like Goldschmidt waiting on deck.
There's a good pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike. Braves bullpen collectively a 5.06 earned run average. In the 7th inning on this year. There's a good pitch. 4.71 is the overall Braves relief ERA.
75-mile-an-hour hook from Cody. Good one.
Cody rejoined the ball club after Donnie Veal was designated for assignment. He joined the team here in Phoenix. So he's pitching in back-to-back games for the Braves. Long fly ball is out of play, foul. Martin's retired the first batter in 14 of his 18 big league appearances. That's critical with the man waiting on deck.
That's a good number.
Braves as a team at 66% out of the bullpen for first batter retired. 1-2 pitch. Line drive left field. That's going to sink in front of Johnny Gomes. He couldn't make the play. Pollock's going to try for 2. A double clutch on the throw, and Pollock's in safely to start the inning. A double.
Hanging breaking ball. Up and in. Easy for him to turn on that. Johnny did everything he could. I'm not sure what happened here unless he didn't have a good grip on the baseball. Only would have had a play as it turned out anyway.
So Paul Goldschmidt will be the batter. He's flied out twice, walked once. Right back where it came from, and Peterson had him played perfectly. It's a productive out. Goldschmidt hit a laser, but he's retired for the first out of the inning.
Take that. At this same stage a year ago, when the Braves led, not including today's game, but through 52 games, when the Braves led after 6 innings, they were 17-5. This year they're 17-2. Last year they were 17-2. When they led after 7 a year ago, they were 19-3. I beg your pardon. This year they're 19-3. Last year they were 21-0.
This is Yasmani Tomas. He's got a 2-hit game today and has scored one of the 5 Arizona runs. So yeah, That's a big difference when you look at the divisional race. 3-game difference from last year to this year, from the 7th inning on. 3-game difference in where the Braves stand behind the first place Nationals. 1-1 pitch, and a shot to right is going to drop. It's a 1-run game. It's 7-6. 10 hits for Arizona. Tomas has 3 of them. He had 31 hits last month, an Arizona rookie record. He hasn't stopped hitting in June. So the leadoff double comes home for Arizona. And Freddie Gonzalez will waste no more time. He is going to go get Johnny Gomes and bring on Eric Young Jr. to play left field. So Gomes gets a pinch hit appearance. He plays a third of an inning defensively in the 7th inning. And Atlanta goes deeper in the bullpen. Looks like Jim Johnson striding in. 7-6 is your score. Wild one again in Phoenix. Arizona down a run, 1 on, 1 out in the home 7th. Fans follow the Braves all year in 2015 with MLB.com at Bat, the #1 app for live baseball. At Bat is up to the moment, at any moment, with in-game highlights, live look-ins, replay reviews, radio broadcasts, and more. Get MLB.com at Bat for your smartphone or for your tablet. Eric Young Jr. will make an appearance in left field. He replaces Johnny Gomes. Jim Johnson replaces Cody Martin.
Hoping that sinker is working today and get a ground ball. Possibly a double play and get out of the inning. He's inherited for the year 7 base runners. None have scored.
And if there's an area where the Braves bullpen has been good, it is in that statistic. The Braves have inherited 77 runners in relief. Only 13 of those have come home to score.
And we've been talking about the effort to try to get to Johnson and Grilli late in the ball game. Well, Braves are to Johnson in the 7th today, so that means if it's going to be those 2 guys to try to hold on to this lead and finish it up, one of them is going to have to work a little extra, and it's probably Johnson.
This is his 4th outing on the road trip, his first in this series, and he almost hit Peralta. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Good pitch. 0-2. Good pitch, moving back, making him move his feet. Try to get that sinker down and away now and get him to roll over it right at somebody. As we've already seen earlier today, though, he hit the ball hard and deep to left.
Opposite field single for Peralta. He continues to punish the Braves. Eric Young fields. And Arizona goes first to third with Tomas. And now they've got the tying run 90 feet away. Johnson can't retire the first batter.
Ball was moving, but it was up. It didn't have that downward drop to it. So basically, he just leveled off on it behind in the count and hit it in the open spot.
Chris Owings is 1 for 3. He was robbed by Chris Johnson, who made a diving stop at third base last time up. And a strike. Owings also has an infield hit, and he's riding a 7-game hitting streak.
Freddie Gonzalez talked about the loss last night being deflating. That he could see it on the faces of his players after they had the lead late.
Little pop, shallow right's going to tie this game. And now Peralta goes first to third.
These two teams are a lot alike, Chip. They neither one give up. They neither one cash in their chips early when they're behind early. And you could see that when they got their first run across on a ground out in the second inning. It was 6-0 Atlanta, and Pennington drove in a run from third with a ground out, and he got greeted at the dugout, patting him on the back like, all right, that's a start. Good job. We got one. And they've been playing that way the rest of the day, chipping away.
Saltalamacchia moved off the plate. 1 ball, no strikes. Braves led this one 6-1 after 2. Atlanta's last run came in the 4th. The Diamondbacks with 2 in the 3rd. 1 each in the 5th and the 6th. 2 here in the 7th and still batting. 2 runs on 4 hits against Martin and Johnson. The Braves late inning relief issues have continued. It's Addison Reed. He's getting ready to pitch the 8th inning. One ball, no strikes. 7-7. High fly ball, shallow right center field. Who wants it? It's going to be Maben. There's the catch. Runner tags. He's coming home. Throw to the plate is up the line. Safe. And Arizona leads.
Christian Bethancourt thinks he got an out. I thought he was late getting the tag down, but he pointed to the Braves dugout immediately. And I don't know if the slide by Peralta was off the plate or if he thought that he got him before he got to the plate, if he got him with his hand. Let's watch again. Goes to the side. No, the hand got in there.
Yep.
Definitely got in there.
Yeah, clearly safe. Throw up the line just a bit. Freddie Gonzalez back to the dugout. No appeal. And Peralta scores the 3rd run of the inning, and Arizona has come back, and they lead 8-7. So Cliff Pennington bats with a runner at first and 2 out. Jordan Pacheco is in the on-deck circle. He would bat for Chafin. The pitch is up and away. 1 ball, no strikes.
If last night was deflating, if the Braves aren't able to come back today, I don't know what you'd call this.
Certainly frustrating.
Yeah.
Some of this goes back to Fulton-Evich, who lasted 5 2/3 innings. A home run ball to Pollock. The breaking ball that turned into that run-scoring hit from Hill. And a 2-run third didn't help either. Ball up around the eyes for Pennington. He couldn't stop himself. It's ball and a strike. Johnson thought that was good enough. Pitch was up, I suppose. 2 balls and a strike. Woody Martin allowed a couple of runs. Johnson's allowed 1. Runner goes. Pitch is a strike. Throw to second. Short hops and safe. Now Andrelton Simmons wants to have a look at video replay. Christian has a terrific arm, but he's really short hopping his throws to second on stolen base attempts. I can't remember the last time he made a laser-like throw right on the bag without a hop.
Now, the only reason this was close was Andrelton's effort. And he may have a point here. He may have gotten him on the heel before the foot came down. That's going to be a real tough one to read, though, I believe.
The Braves will challenge the call at second. If Owings is out, that would end the inning. If not, he'll be safe with 2 outs, and Pennington's at bat will continue. The ruling was safe.
That is going to be a tough one to overturn over. Well, I think they may have gotten it.
Again, there has to be clear and convincing evidence to overturn the call. The call was safe at second base. Glove, heel at the bag.
Yeah, I think he got in there.
Yep. Cub with that, an excellent look at it. He joins Jim Reynolds at the replay headset. (8-7) Arizona. The Diamondbacks have scored 5 unanswered runs over their last 3 at-bats. Looks like close to a decision, and the answer is safe. So Braves challenge. Call is upheld. And now Pennington bats with a runner in scoring position and 2 outs. Call's confirmed. And it's a 2-2 offering for the shortstop. Pennington knocked home his 4th run back in the 2nd inning.
Huge run out there. The Braves have got to try and save.
And looks like they will with a good play at first. And Johnson got to the bag. Martin and Johnson allow 3 runs in relief, and Arizona takes a lead into the 8th. Field in Phoenix. Time for today's great clips of the game.
Well, this one was clipped into right field right at 450 feet. A 3-run shot. That put the Braves up 6-0. Hit another one later in the game. That's in the 4th inning. 385 feet to the opposite field. But that lead long gone as the Diamondbacks had come back with 3 in the 7th to take the lead 8-7.
And Addison Reed is on to pitch. You see the high ERA. Might be why he's not closing games for them. Last year he saved 32 games.
A lot of walks too. Their bullpen leading after 7. Their team 18-3.
Eric Young Jr. will lead off. He came in the flip-flop batting order last inning. Reed gets ahead with a strike. Arizona 11 blown saves this year. They're 9 out of 20 in saves this season. Very technical term for that. Yeah.
Fastball slider for Reed. Low 90s.
Young missed it. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Reed saved 29 and 40 games in back-to-back seasons with the White Sox in 2012 and 13. Infielder Matt Davidson went to Chicago after the 2013 year. And he just carved up Eric Young with some nasty stuff. 1 up, 1 down in the 8th.
12 strikeouts for Atlanta today. 8 by the starter De La Rosa in just 5 innings.
Second baseman, J.C. Peterson.
Reed's out of San Diego State. He's got the first out. Here's Jace Peterson. He's a right-handed pitcher, is Reed, but he's been awfully tough against lefties. They're 2 for their last 19 against him. So that's a nice luxury for Chip Hale. He doesn't have to play matchup with Addison Reed. He gets lefties and righties equally well.
If he spots that slider right there, that backdoor pitch at the knees, you can understand why they're 2 for 19. Great pitch.
Yeah, but missed. Ground ball to second. Owens has it. And his peg to first on target. 2 out. And that'll bring up Cameron Maybin. Another great game from Maybin at the plate. 3 singles, 2 RBIs, and a couple of runs. Braves scored early. Arizona has scored late. And Atlanta finds itself down a run with only 4 outs left. Strike 1. Two years ago, Addison Reed became the youngest pitcher in the history of the White Sox with a 40-save season.
Well, that's a good hard sinker. You already saw the slider. You can understand how he was very effective for Chicago.
Get the corner. 2 balls and a strike. Now it's 2-2 for Maybin.
He's doing everything he can to try to prevent Freddie Freeman from coming up with a runner on base.
Little roller right side. Race to the bag. Reed got there ahead of Cameron Maybin. Addison Reed with a perfect 8th inning. Arizona 8, Atlanta 7. Question is, can Jim Johnson stop the bleeding? Give him no more.
It's a road trip that just, for the bullpen, never seems to end.
No. Back-to-back hits allowed by Jim after he relieved Cody Martin, then Saltalamacchia with a soft sacrifice fly. And Arizona leads by a run. Nick Ahmed bats for Addison Reed as we begin the home 8th inning for Arizona. Braves have a shot in the 9th. They'll have their 3, 4, and 5 hitters coming up. As Johnson missed outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. The key, though, nothing else. Can't give him another run.
Right. That was what was important about last inning, getting Pennington to ground out.
And that's fouled at the plate. A ball and 2 strikes. Pirates are trying to sweep away the Giants. They're up 5-1 now in the 9th inning. That's who the Braves play next, beginning Friday night at Turner Field. Charlie Morton, Williams Perez will pitch the opener. 7:35 first pitch. Braves live 7 o'clock. Friday night fireworks as always. We hope you'll join us now that school's out or close to being out. Should be a fun weekend with Buccos in town. Tehran and Locke on Saturday night. Sunday, Alex Wood and Garrett Cole. Ooh.
Oh, baby. Slow curve, and he missed it.
A shot foul at first. Former Brave farmhand Nick Ahmed. 8 runs, 12 hits for Arizona. They've stranded 6, 7 runs, 12 hits for the Braves. They've left 7 on base. Two homers, 4 RBIs for Freddie Freeman today. All 7 Atlanta runs have come with 2 outs. And Johnson loses Ahmed. He should have had him struck out.
Agreed.
And this pitch looked close as well.
PNC Bank Fox Tracks. That one wasn't as good as the breaking ball. Breaking ball was a good pitch.
Arizona with 7 runs or better for the 4th time in their last 6 games. They've scored 8 today. Here's another shocking stat for you. Last 17 innings, the Braves pitching staff has walked 17 men.
17 innings, 17 walks.
Yep. 10 of them came last night. One try is foul by Inciarte. No balls and a strike. Frustrating, demoralizing, agonizing. Pick any gerund you want. It all applies. And the late innings on this road trip for Freddie Gonzalez. As we said last evening, this group is what this group is. This is what the Braves have assembled right now for their big league bullpen. Right now, there isn't anyone pitching with a hot hand in relief. So our guess, Freddie Gonzalez's guess, is as good as yours as to whom he can call on in a critical situation to get outs. He doesn't know. Right now, there isn't anyone that's hot.
Inconsistency has just been the most difficult part to have to deal with.
Oh, and 1. Ciarte bunts that foul. It's 0-2. That's Dave McKay, first base coach for the Diamondbacks. For so many years, Dave was one of Tony La Russa's lieutenants with the St. Louis Cardinals
and Oakland A's. Andy Little, you saw giving the signs at third, was their manager in AA at Mobile. Won a couple of championships.
And now Johnson and Bethencourt can't get together on an 0-2 count. $17,717 was the attendance today. And now the 0-2 pitch is bounced foul at first.
Good speed at first too, and Nick Ahmed only one stolen base on the year, but I've seen him range around playing shortstop, charging on bunt attempts last night by Peterson when they had a shift on for Jace.
Bouncing ball towards second. Peterson will have only one play. And it's productive out for Inciarte. He couldn't bunt, but he's able to move Ahmed to second base on a roller to second. Now Pollock bats. Big day for Pollock again. He's 5 for 12 in the series, a couple of homers. He's knocked in 4. And he's scored 3. Come on, fellas.
See Freddie there talking to AJ Pierzynski, checking with him to see what are we using with the guys with the runner at second base. What are you typically using? Is it first sign indicator? First sign?
Bethencourt's going to throw back to second. And a good job by Peterson to block that ball. Braves asked for an appeal at first. There was no swing. 1 ball, no strikes.
Kenneth begins to loosen up as Johnson's pitch count is at 25.
That's foul behind the plate. And Johnson's a strike away from a second out.
And remember, he got the 7th inning rally started with that double on a hanging breaking ball from Cody Martin. So if you decide to throw him a slider here ahead in the count, do so down and away.
Balls, 2 strikes. Goldschmidt is on deck. Bouncing ball back to the mound. Johnson fires high at third. It's into the left field corner, and a run's going to score.
Did the right thing, checked the runner, had him, and you could see his reaction as soon as he let it go.
So it's a fielder's choice, a throwing error, no RBI. Goldschmidt will be intentionally walked for the 13th time. You've got Tomas waiting on deck. Tony Gonzalez and Roger McDowell pondering their options. As that one sails outside, and now we go back to that number you spoke of earlier, Joe, with regards to the Diamondback offense and Goldschmidt after an intentional walk.
0 for 11 coming into the game today with a walk.
So Goldschmidt is passed intentionally. Tomas will not face Jim Johnson. A fielder's choice turns into a big insurance run for Arizona. It's now a 9-7 Diamondback lead.
Is presented by Georgia Power and Zaxby's.
His bullpen troubles continued today. 9-7 now Arizona leads. Bottom of the 8th inning. 2 on and 1 out. 2 runs allowed by Cody Martin. 2 runs allowed by Jim Johnson. The runners aboard, his responsibility too, as Brandon Caniff is on for his 21st outing of the year.
He got the loss yesterday. He worked an inning and a third. 2 hits, 2 runs. The home run by Pollock followed a 2-out walk to Inciarte. That error, the 25th error of the year by the Braves, and the 7th by the pitching staff.
Control for Caniff is paramount. He has walked a lot of men. Yasmani Tomas has a 3-hit day today and didn't get that one. It's fouled at the plate. Strike 1.
Yeah, you mentioned the command. We looked it up last night. Is 20 appearances, 7 times the leadoff batter has reached by walk.
All the attention that Jock Peterson has gotten for the LA Dodgers with all of his home runs, many fans have probably overlooked the good work by Tomas this year. He leads all rookies in batting average in the National League. You know, Mark Grace likes seeing a man hitting .333. That's what Tomas is hitting right now. Downstairs, 1 ball, 2 strikes. He's 5th in RBIs, 2nd in multi-hit games. He added another one today. He's also scored 2 runs. What's been frustrating at times with Brandon and some of the other youngsters in the bullpen, they'll get to 2 strikes and then have trouble finishing hitters off. He got to 0-2 before the walk last night, and then the long homer into the swimming pool. Did he go? He did. Brandon gets his first man, strikes out Tomas, who's got bookend strikeouts today. That's out number 2.
He certainly did. Good spot with that breaking ball. Good start for Kenneth today.
David Peralta. His first action of this series. Two on, 2 out for him. And low, 1 ball, no strikes. Mentioned Peralta and how much damage he did to the Braves last year. That's continued this year. 1-0 the count. And off the plate. Ball 2. (9-7) Arizona. And scalded into the second deck foul. It's 2-1.
One of the things you got to like about David Peralta is his use of the whole field. He appears to like the ball middle away.
Former pitcher in the minor leagues. 2 shoulder surgeries derailed that portion of his pro career. Back in the big leagues, or in the big leagues I should say, as a hitter.
Cardinals did pretty well with that. Rick Ankiel comes to mind.
Yeah, I think was it Jason Mott was a catcher. David Carpenter was a catcher. They've converted some guys from offensive to pitchers. Well, Peralta and the pitcher to a hitter. 2-2 pitch. 2 on, 2 out. And that's golf toward the cameras to the right side. We'll do it again. Hey, you've really got to love the game when you've been signed, you're in the minor leagues, you come back from the 2 arm surgeries, and you go play with the Rio Grande Valley White Wings and the Wichita Wingnuts. And still, somehow, some way, a scout saw you do something that caught his eye, and it's turned into big league opportunity for Peralta. Good for him. In the dirt. It's 3-2. Runners go, and a swing and a miss. Arizona adds a big insurance run in the 8th inning. The Braves are down 2 with the heart of the order coming up as we head to the 9th inning. Fans, the Braves are back home this weekend to take on the Pittsburgh Pirates. Here's your broadcast schedule. Joe will join Tom Glavine and me for Game 1 of the series Friday night. Saturday's Big Fox. Then Tommy, Joe, and I are back with you for the series wrap-up Sunday at 1 o'clock Eastern Time on Fox Sports South. Brad Ziegler's on to pitch the 9th for the Diamondbacks, and he will face Freddie Freeman first.
Ziegler worked the 9th inning yesterday and got the save. Gave up a base hit, but able to pitch around that. That was a leadoff single by Cunningham.
Changes on the left side of the infield for Arizona. Nick Ahmed is in at short. Pennington moves from shortstop to third base, but the Diamondbacks shift. Ahmed's the only man on the left side of the infield. They'll give Freeman a hit if he wants to poke one the other way. And a strike evens the count. Ground ball, foul at third. Ziegler's been especially tough here in Phoenix. 1 earned run in 13 home innings pitched.
That's pretty good in this ballpark. Good indication he's keeping the ball down. Keeps it down and away. Maybe Freddie takes one the other way for a hit.
He pulled it. Goldschmidt dives, race to the bag, perfect throw, and Freeman's out number 1. The Braves have taken the bat out of Paul Goldschmidt an awful lot in this series, but they haven't been able to take away his glove. He has looked smooth as silk at first base.
He's made all the plays with the exception of one. There was one hot smash in Game 1 of the series that caused his first error of the year. Otherwise, he's been outstanding.
Nick Markakis will try to improve on a 3-for-4 day. A couple of doubles, an RBI, and a 7th inning single. Strike 1. Ziegler's out of Southwest Missouri State University and Odessa, Missouri High School. Broke in with the Oakland A's. Diamondbacks got him in 2011 at the deadline for Brandon Allen and Jordan Norberto, a left-handed pitcher. High hopper. Wings, waits for gravity, throws to first in time, 2 outs. And A.J. Przinsky's the final Atlanta hope.
Ziegler's more of the old school submariner. He's not all the way down there like a Dan Quisenberry, but he's pretty close.
Ziegler coming back from microfracture surgery on his left knee that took place last September. Arizona with this offense, like the Braves, trying to figure out its bullpen. If they can straighten that out, where they score runs, they're going to be a very dangerous team over the final 4 months. Down the right field line by AJ, and that's foul.
Braves would be pretty dangerous too.
Yeah,
the offense is working right now. If they can figure out a way to square their bullpen away.
And both starters pitched similar games. Both offenses had similar days. Unfortunately for Atlanta, the Diamondbacks bullpen has not allowed a run. The Braves pen allowed 4 more today. 0-2 pitch for AJ Pierzynski. Was around the plate. In the air, right center field. Pollock on the run. He's not going to get there. That's gone. AJ Pierzynski has hit a home run. No lead is safe in this park. The Braves, down to their last strike, get a home run from AJ Pierzynski.
His first one in a while, and I didn't think the ball jumped like that. I thought he had to reach for it a little bit. Into the swimming pool area. And man, he had to go outside and get that. Pollock over to have a look, but I don't know if that bounced off the top of the fence or off the concrete out there.
First home run for AJ Pierzynski since April 18th when he hit a homer off R.A. Dickey. 5th career pinch hit homer. 9-8 in the 9th. And now Simmons can reach. You've got Juan Uribe ready to pinch hit, I should say, in Brandon Kinniff's spot. Bouncing ball back to the mound. And the Diamondbacks come back and take 2 out of 3 from Atlanta. 9-8 is the final score. The Braves wrap up a 4-6 road trip out west. 4 runs allowed by the bullpen, the difference in Game 3 today. 9-8 Arizona. Back to talk about it after this.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Atlanta Braves and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Atlanta Braves.